Let me ask you something real, something that may hit you in a place you don't want to look too closely at. Have you ever felt like someone was about to take something from you, but they smiled while doing it? She laughs with you. She compliments your strength. She calls you her ride or die. And yet deep down, your gut whispers something isn't right. We've all felt it. That moment when your instincts scream louder than your excuses. When your soul knows before your mind catches up. Let me tell you a story. Years ago, I had someone close to me. Someone I trusted, someone I stood up for, someone I defended like she was blood. I thought she believed in me. She said all the right things. She looked me in the eyes, and then one day when I really needed her, she was gone. And worse is she had taken what wasn't hers. Not just my trust. She used my name, my reputation, my work, my goodness. It left me wrecked. But it also woke me up. You see, this isn't just about betrayal, it's about awareness. It's about recognizing when someone is about to use you. Not because you're weak, but because you're valuable. People don't use garbage, they use gold. So when I say, she is about to use you, I'm not just issuing a warning, I'm calling on something deeper. This is not about becoming hard. This is about becoming wise and powerful. And finally choosing yourself. Let's go there. Your worth is the reason, not the excuse. She doesn't come for you because you're weak. She comes for you because you shine. And that's something most people don't realize until they've been left standing in the aftermath wondering, why me? Why would she do that to someone like me? But maybe the real question is, why wouldn't she? See, there's something in you that calls people in, a warmth, a presence, a strength you carry like it's invisible, but it's not. People feel it. And some admire it while others try to take from it. That's the hard truth. You're not being used because you're lacking something. You're being used because you're overflowing with something. You have empathy, vision, drive. People see the way others gravitate toward you, the way you show up for people, the way you speak life into everyone around you. And some don't want to earn that light. They just want to stand close enough to pretend it's theirs. You've probably been told your whole life that giving is a virtue, and it is. But no one ever taught you where giving ends and self-betrayal begins. You gave her the benefit of the doubt over and over. You gave her your time, your heart, your loyalty. You excused the red flags because your love was real, and real love makes room for people. But real love shouldn't require your silence, or your dignity, or your self-abandonment. This is where people get it wrong. They think being used means they were foolish, that they were too open, too trusting. But trust isn't a flaw, it's a gift. The problem isn't that you trusted her. The problem is that she was unworthy of your trust. Your compassion didn't fail you. Her character did. When you start to see your worth clearly, you stop blaming yourself for other people's inability to honor it. That's what this chapter is about, taking the focus off of her and putting it back on you. Not in shame, but in truth. Because every time someone uses you, there's a lie that gets planted. You're too much. You're too emotional. You're too soft. You should have known better. And that lie starts to eat away at your confidence, little by little. But here's the truth. If you weren't powerful, they wouldn't bother. If you weren't radiant, they wouldn't try to dim you. If you weren't valuable, they wouldn't use you. So instead of asking, why did she do this to me? Ask, what does this reveal about what I carry? Because the fact that someone wanted access to your energy, your support, your name, it tells you something. People don't fake loyalty to people who don't matter. They don't borrow from people who have nothing to give. She saw your power, and she wanted proximity to it without doing the work to earn it. But now you get to decide. You get to decide what access looks like. You get to stop handing out your energy like it's free. Because it's not. It was never free. It cost you your peace, your sleep, your sense of self. You've paid enough. Loving people deeply doesn't mean letting them walk all over you. And being kind doesn't mean being blind. There is a difference between being loving and being used. And you're allowed to start making that distinction. You're allowed to say, I see who I am. I see what I offer. And not everyone deserves it. That's not being selfish, that's being self-respecting. So many of us were raised to believe that boundaries are mean. That saying no makes us difficult. That protecting our peace makes us cold. But no, what it actually does is preserve your purpose. Because every time you're drained by someone who doesn't value you, you have less to give to the people who truly do. And let's be honest, your time, your love, your presence, that's sacred. Not everyone is ready for it. And not everyone is meant to receive it. Here's what I want you to take from this. When someone tries to use you, don't shrink. Don't fold into yourself wondering what you did wrong. Stand taller. Because that moment is not a symbol of your stupidity. It's evidence of your strength. They saw something in you. They saw the fire. They just didn't respect it. But that doesn't mean you put the fire out. It means you protect it. You tend to it. You learn to burn for the right reasons, not to keep the wrong people warm. You are not too much. You are not too kind. You are not too open. You are enough. And your worth, that's the reason people come for you. But from now on, let it also be the reason they can't reach you. You're done being used. Because you finally remember who you are. The gut never leaves. But we often do. Let me say this plainly, you knew. Deep down, beneath the polite smiles and the rationalizations. Your body knew, your gut screamed warnings, your heart whispered caution, and your mind tried to quiet it all with explanations. But the truth was there, clear as a bell. Something was off. You felt it before it became a full-blown reality. But you silenced yourself. You told yourself you were imagining things. You told yourself you were being too sensitive, too emotional, too dramatic. You wanted to believe the best in her, in the situation, in yourself. So you dismissed the voice inside that wanted to protect you. Why do we do that? Why do we ignore our gut instincts, the primal, unfiltered signals our bodies send us to keep us safe, and instead choose to listen to the noise of politeness, fear of confrontation, or the desperate hope that things will get better? The answer lies buried deep in how we are raised and conditioned by society. From a young age, we are taught to be polite, to be nice, to keep the peace. We learn that saying no is rude, that standing up for ourselves is selfish, that questioning someone we love or trust is ungrateful or mean. We're trained to put others' feelings ahead of our own safety, to suppress the warning signals our bodies send because they're inconvenient or uncomfortable. We become experts at burying discomfort beneath layers of rationalization, hoping it will go away if we ignore it long enough. But the gut never lies. It's your most ancient and honest advisor. Long before your brain processes the facts, your body body recognizes the threat. Your nervous system remembers. Your heart feels the unease. This is your internal alarm system. Finely tuned over thousands of years of survival, it doesn't care about politics, social graces, or expectations. It just wants to keep you whole. And yet, so many of us have betrayed that voice. We've told ourselves lies we've repeated so often they almost became truth. She wouldn't do that. I'm overthinking. It's just stress. I don't want to be that person. The problem is, when we silence the gut, we open the door for others to walk all over us. We let them use our kindness as weakness, our empathy as an invitation, our love as a bargaining chip. But there is power in reconnecting with that voice. There is freedom in finally trusting yourself again. It's not about living in fear or paranoia. It's about living with clarity and courage. It's about recognizing those subtle signals, the tightness in your stomach, the knot in your chest, the unease that makes your skin crawl, and honoring them as the truth, not as something to be dismissed, but something to be acted upon. Learning to listen to your gut requires practice and patience. It means slowing down enough to notice what your body is telling you, even when the mind wants to override it. It means asking yourself, what am I really feeling right now? What does this discomfort mean? What would happen if I trusted this feeling? It means breaking old patterns of self-doubt and replacing them with radical self-trust. When you start acting on your instincts, not out of fear, but out of respect for your own well-being, you begin to set boundaries naturally and confidently. You stop tolerating disrespect, manipulation, and betrayal. You become less of a doormat and more of a fortress. You show people without saying a word that you are not to be used or controlled. This shift doesn't happen overnight. It takes time to heal from the wounds of ignoring yourself. It takes courage to stand alone in your truth when others try to convince you otherwise. But every time you honor your gut, you reclaim a piece of your power. Every time you say no when your body says no, you teach the world how to treat you. Every time you choose yourself over the discomfort of confrontation, you grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Your intuition is a sacred gift. It's the quiet voice that sees through the masks, the subtle signs, the hidden motives. It's your personal compass in a world that often tries to confuse and deceive you. So start trusting it, start believing it, start living by it, because when you do, you will find that the people who meant to use you will no longer find an open door. Instead, you will stand firm, clear, and unstoppable, guided by the unwavering truth that your gut has always known you knew. Now it's time to listen. Stop trying to earn what you already are. There's a lie so many of us were handed, not in one loud statement, but in 1,000 quiet moments. It's subtle. It's sneaky. It says you are not enough unless you prove it, unless you earn it, unless you give and give and give, and then maybe, just maybe, you'll be worthy. We grow up absorbing this lie from the way the world treats us, from the way people reward self-sacrifice but punish self-respect, from how love is dangled like a prize, always just out of reach unless we do more, be more, offer more. And somewhere along the way, we start to believe that the only way to be safe, to be loved, to be valued, is to perform for it. So we hustle for our worth. We stay quiet when we want to speak. We bend so others don't break. We take on extra weight, hoping that if we carry enough, someone will see our strength and finally say, you matter. But let me tell you something that may shake you to your core. You don't have to earn what you already are. You are already worthy, already enough, already deserving of love, respect, peace, and safety. Not because of what you do, but because of who you are. That voice inside that tells you to keep trying harder, to keep giving more, it's not your intuition, it's your conditioning. It's the voice of every experience where someone only saw your usefulness, not your wholeness. It's every time you were praised for staying quiet, for being the bigger person, for putting everyone else first, even when it was killing you. We've been taught that loyalty means endurance, that love means staying no matter how bad it gets, that respect is earned through struggle. But those definitions are broken. Loyalty without reciprocity is not a virtue, it's self-destruction. Love without respect isn't love, it's control. And respect, real respect, isn't earned by proving your pain tolerance. It's given to those who respect themselves. We have to break this idea that we are only as valuable as our labor, that the more we give, the more we're worth, because giving out of fear of being left, fear of being judged, fear of being called selfish, is not giving. It's a transaction. It's a deal we make with our own soul. I'll abandon myself if it means I won't be alone, but that's not love, that's survival. And you were not born just to survive. You were born to thrive, to be in spaces where your presence is not conditional on your performance, where you are not loved for what you offer, but for who you are. The hardest thing you'll ever do is stop trying to earn what should have been freely given. It will feel uncomfortable, wrong even. You'll want to go back to proving yourself because it's familiar. But here's the thing. When you stop giving out of fear, you start attracting people who give out of love. When you stop trying to earn approval, you start to find the people who already see you, who already respect you, who already choose you, not because of what you do for them, but because of how you show up as your whole self. The shift happens the moment you decide, I am done bleeding to be seen. I am done performing for love. I am done proving myself to people who have never once proved themselves to me. You are not a product. You are not a service. You are not a transaction to be negotiated. You are a person, a whole living, breathing human being who deserves to be met, not managed. So ask yourself, why am I giving right now? Is it because your heart overflows and you want to, or is it because you're afraid of what happens if you don't? Are you saying yes because it's in alignment with your truth, or because you're afraid someone will leave if you say no? Start being honest about the motive behind the giving. Because if it's rooted in fear, it's not pure, it's not clean, and it's not sustainable. The more you give from an empty place, the more resentment you will carry. The more you contort yourself to be accepted, the more you will lose touch with who you really are. And the more you try to earn what you already are, the more you teach people that your value is negotiable. It's time to stop right here, right now. You are not a mistake that needs correcting. You are not a problem that needs solving. You are not a vacancy waiting to be filled. You are a force. And your worth is not a reward someone gives you when you've jumped through enough hoops. It is your birthright. So stop trying to earn what you already are. Start living like you believe it. Because once you do, the world has no choice but to rise to meet you. It's not about them, it's about the standard you set. Let me be clear, she isn't the problem. The real problem is what you've been taught to tolerate. We often fixate on the person who wronged us, the one who used us, manipulated us, took advantage of our goodness. We tell ourselves if we could just understand why she did it, if we could just make her see our worth, if we could just change her, then everything would make sense. But healing doesn't come from dissecting someone else's brokenness. It comes from turning inward and asking, why did I allow it? Where did I abandon myself? See, the real power isn't in trying to control who comes into your life. The power is in deciding who gets to stay. And that comes down to one thing: standards, not wishful thinking, not hopeful potential, not the excuses you make for why someone can't love you the right way, but the clear, unshakable truth of what you will and will not allow in your life. Boundaries are not punishments, they are declarations. They say, this is my value, this is my peace. This is my energy, and you don't get to touch it unless you come correct. We have to stop thinking of boundaries as walls designed to keep people out. That's fear, that's reaction. Boundaries, when set with intention, are gates you control. Gates that swing wide open for the right people, those who honor your presence, respect your space, and match your energy, and close firmly against anyone who threatens your well-being. But here's the catch: boundaries only work when you uphold them. You can say, I won't tolerate disrespect all day long, but if you let her walk back into your life after doing just that, then that's your new standard, whether you admit it or not. Words don't set the standard, behavior does, consistency does, follow through does. This is where so many of us get stuck. We're waiting for people to rise to the occasion to finally see our worth. But you know what? People don't rise to meet your worth, they rise or fall to meet your standard. And if your standard is low, if it's flexible, if it bends under the weight of guilt or fear or loneliness, then that's what they'll pedestal. Not your heart, your pattern. Loyalty is beautiful, but blind loyalty, that's betrayal in disguise. You can't keep tying your identity to people who keep showing you they don't know how to carry it. You can keep handing out second chances like they cost you nothing, because they cost you everything. Your peace, your clarity, your time, your sense of self. You've got to stop trying to love people into treating you better. That's not how it works. You teach people how to treat you, not by begging, not by proving, not by explaining over and over again, but by what you allow, what you accept, what you let slide, what you excuse in the name of love. And let me say this: setting a standard isn't about perfection. It's not about expecting people to never mess up. It's about how they own it when they do. It's about how they show up consistently. It's about knowing your line and holding it, not just when it's easy, but especially when it's not. Because every time you lower the bar to accommodate someone's comfort, you're telling yourself, I can't have what I truly want. Every time you stay silent when someone crosses a line, you're whispering, I'm not worthy of more. But you are. And it's time your standards reflected that. There is nothing arrogant about saying, this is what I need in order to feel safe, loved, and respected. There is nothing mean about walking away from someone who refuses to rise. That's not cruelty, that's clarity, that's self-leadership. You are not here to rescue people from their own dysfunction. You are not here to babysit grown adults through their inability to respect you. You are here to walk in your truth, to stand in your value, and to protect the peace you've worked so hard to build. So ask yourself today, what do I allow that breaks my own heart? What do I tolerate that drains my energy? Where am I setting the bar too low and calling it compassion? The answer is not to change her. The answer is to change what access to you requires. Because once you do, once you hold the line with unshakable integrity, something incredible happens. Those who are only there to take fall away, and those who are meant to walk beside you rise up. It's not about them. It never was. It's about you. The gatekeeper of your own life, the one who sets the tone, the one who decides once and for all that anything less than respect is no longer welcome. You can be kind without being a victim. There's a dangerous belief that kindness and strength can't live in the same body. That to be soft is to be weak. That to be loving is to be knave. And especially for women, that to be nurturing means accepting whatever is given, even if it's disrespect, even if it's abuse. But here's the truth: no one teaches you early enough you can be kind without being a victim. You can lead with heart and still carry a spine of steel. You can extend grace and still say, that's enough. Kindness doesn't mean access. Compassion doesn't mean consent. We are so often told that our value lies in being accommodating, that we're good people if we're always saying yes, always available, always forgiving, always understanding. But what happens when that kindness becomes a leash? What happens when you're no longer offering love freely, but being drained by it slowly, subtly, until you forget what it even feels like to be full? This isn't about becoming cold or hard. It's not about throwing up walls or becoming guarded. It's about discernment. The kind of clarity that says, I see your pain, but I will not let it poison mine. The kind of strength that whispers, I care for you, but not at the expense of myself. The kind of love that begins within. Being kind doesn't mean being a martyr. And it certainly doesn't mean sacrificing your boundaries in the name of being nice. Niceness is a performance. Kindness is a practice. And it begins with how you treat yourself. Are you kind to yourself when someone crosses your line? Or do you shame yourself for not seeing it coming? Are you gentle with your heart when it's hurting? Or do you silence your pain because someone else's feelings seem more urgent? We need to stop confusing kindness with self-erasure. You don't owe your presence to people who diminish you. You don't owe your time to those who manipulate your empathy. You don't have to be available to anyone who refuses to see your value beyond what you give. Emotional intelligence doesn't mean tolerating toxicity with a smile. It means knowing how to recognize someone's pain without making it your responsibility. It means understanding the roots of their behavior without justifying its impact. It means responding with clarity, not reaction. And sometimes the clearest, kindest thing you can say is, I will not participate in this anymore. One of the bravest things you can do is stand in your softness and still say no, still walk away, still mean what you say, and honor your peace above all else. It takes courage to keep your heart open in a world that tries to harden you. But don't confuse that openness with obligation. You are allowed to protect your energy. You are allowed to choose who gets the most sacred parts of you. You are allowed to stop trying to heal people who refuse to do the work for themselves. And here's the thing, when you stop letting people use your kindness as an entry point to your undoing, they will call you selfish. They will call you cold. They will say you've changed. Let them. That's their discomfort talking. That's their control slipping away. What they're really saying is, I miss the version of you that tolerated my behavior. Let them miss her. Because the version of you who thought she had to keep giving just to be loved, she was never the real you. The real you knows that kindness is not weakness. That love does not require your suffering. That true compassion includes yourself. So don't stop being kind. The world desperately needs more people who lead with empathy, with integrity, with heart. But be the kind of kind that is rooted in truth. The kind that doesn't flinch when a boundary needs to be drawn. The kind that says, I see your humanity, but I will not let it cost me mine. Let your kindness be fierce. Let it be clear. Let it be steady. Let it not require you to bleed. Because when you embody both softness and strength, when you give with intention and protect with purpose, something powerful happens. You stop being a victim of your own goodness. You rise. You own your space. You lead with light, not out of fear, but out of fullness. You can be kind without being a victim. And once you believe that, you will never be used the same way again. So what if she used you? Maybe that was the greatest gift. Because now you see, now you know, now you're awake. You've stepped into a new chapter, not as the broken-hearted version of yourself, but as the rebuilt one. The one who still leads with love, but never lets herself be led by lies. You are not here to be used. You are here to be seen, honored, and respected. Let her use someone else. You're about to lead.